Calgary Stampede went into toward paddock and up towards it.
Well, hello boys and girls, it's Suffolk Andy here at Stratford St Mary, Tunstall country again. As you can see, very nice spot on the river. The river goes up to Sudbury here, fish jumping in and out, I can see over there. And how the other half lives. Got a very expensive little eating house here. I don't think you could afford it if you've only got enough for fish and chips in your pocket. But they do little trips down the river and you can sit out here and eat and pay plenty. But what a beautiful spot, eh? Very old building, probably Tudor by the looks of it, or late Tudor. And just a lovely spot. I thought I'd show you today. Beautiful area, Stratford St Mary. All part of the constable thing. As you can see, they have a big marquee over there, and they have weddings and you get married in there and just have generally a really good time if you can afford it. There you go. Well, let's get on with the ride now. Just going to generally ride, no history or anything like that today, but one or two people have said to me that they suffer a little bit with vlogger's cramp. Not the other cramp, but vlogger's cramp. And what do I suggest? Well, at the moment I'm not actually suffering from vlogger's cramp, but I'm going to show you how, if I did, how I get over it. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But right, what I do if I'm, got to that point where I'm thinking, oh, what can I talk about, what can I say, and all this sort of stuff, I usually just go onto the internet and I'll look at one or two sites like Bugsplat and local news and stuff like that, and probably read a couple of 3 articles and bring out things that interest me and I think that might interest you chaps and chapasses, of course. And read the stories. I'm not brilliant at remembering all the stories and sometimes I get it wrong, but most of the time it's just a general what the story's about. So I thought what I'll show you is I've just left mine and just read 3 stories and I'll see if I can have a bloody good waffle through it, or a good chit chat. Well, the first one what caught me was a story of about a state trooper in Connecticut in America. He attended the scene of a fatal bike crash. Some middle-aged guy, crashed his bike and unfortunately he was killed. So anyway, the state trooper helped himself to the equivalent in our money of £2,500 out of the guy's wallet, and a gold chain that was equivalent to about £3,500 in British money, so in dollars that would have been a lot more. And what happened was, when the family were informed and whatever, they actually said, well, where's his money and where's his gold chain he used to wear all the time? So they approached the state trooper and he admitted straight away that he'd got the chain and he'd misplaced it and left it in his state trooper's car in a cup. So they went and searched the car and found the £3,500 worth of money under the seat of the car. And he's never admitted to that. But I think American law is a little bit different to ours. He knows that if he goes in front of a jury, he's going to be found guilty. So he's admitted to that, and he's looking to about 18 months in jail or something like that, or 2 years in jail. But what fucking shit face to pinch a guy's money and his gold chain after he's been killed on a bike. Doesn't matter if that was a car or anything else. And he's a state trooper with about 15 years bloody service. That is just horrendous. So I think he'll deserve everything he gets when he goes into that American prison. I should imagine that his arse will be sore for 18 months. Freaking good job. So that's the sort of thing I do. I just pick out a story and talk about it. The other one was Milden, so I think it's Mildenhall Speedway track, banger racing track. I've been having an ongoing dispute with a couple of folk who moved in near the track a few years back, and then started to complain that it was too noisy for them. And this dispute had gone to the High Court, Court of Appeal, and they're the highest court in Britain, and the Speedway track people have lost. And they've got to pay somewhere like £300,000 worth of expenses to the people who made a complaint about noise. Well, the track had been there since 1920, and these people moved in about 6 years ago, and then after a couple of years made complaints about it and took it all the way to the High Court and won. Why would you move into a place that you know there's a speedway track just up the road, 500 yards up the road? You'd be nuts. But I just don't get it, you know. They've had no complaints as such from anybody else, just these two. Unfortunately, the house that they did live in mysteriously burnt down. Nobody can put the blame on anybody for that. But so they lost the house, but they're going to get £350,000 court fees or something. But I don't understand that at all. Why you move into a place and then complain, you know? Why would you do that? So why move in and then complain about it? And I think these people with this stadium thing are just fucking crap, as easy as that. They really should go off and get a fucking life. But that's how I feel about it. So that's number 2. Number 3, kids. I read a little article about kids' pocket money. Do kids get too much pocket money nowadays? Well, when I was a kid, I never got pocket money. My mum would say, "Andrew, go round the shop and get me a bag of potatoes and some corned beef so we can have corned beef hash with a nice tea." And I used to go and never bash them, you know, never blinked an eyelid, and she'd say, "And a bit penny change, Andrew. You can have that to get yourself a chew or a gobstopper." So, you know, I was quite happy with that. Go round there. And you got to remember, even in the 60s, because they look a bit more dead than they do alive, even in the 60s, there was still plenty of sweets for a kid to have, you know. So, and I never, like I said, I never had actual pocket money. I was just given money here and there, you know, but treated very well by my parents. I can't complain at all. Now, some kids today, they always seem to have bloody sweets in them, and ice lollies and stuff. Always want, you know, you go into a shop and you see them like, "Can I have this, mum?" "No." Well, I think, my God, you know, I would never have done that. I'd have got a freaking great hiding, you know. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think when you was a kid you had too much pocket money? Do you think that when you brought up your own kids you give them too much pocket money? Or didn't you give them pocket money? Or do you think kids today have too much? You know, I know all the technology's there for them and everything else like we never had, but do you think kids are spoilt today? Do you think they should be reined back a little bit and taught that you can't have everything you want straight away? You know? Subject number 3. So there you go, there's 3. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just a chit chat, and my waffles on. Having a lovely ride out here in Suffolk today. Started off a bit cloudy, but it's not now. Great Hoxley. No word. I bet I'll come through here and go, I freaking know this place. I've been here more times than I've had hot dinners. But at the moment I can't recall it. So anyway, Suffolk Handley from Great Hoxley. Ride safe, boys and girls. Suffolk Handley!